Hello everyone, this is Penelope Pendergast, and I'm here today with a tutorial on how to create a PowerPoint template for a Vtuber debut presentation. I know there's a lot of Vtubers who are debuting right now, and so many of them are either commissioning or trying to build their own presentations. And I've actually been asked to help make a couple of PowerPoint templates myself for other Vtubers. Always happy to help anybody who asks. But, for those who want to try to do it themselves, I thought that this might be useful. So let's get started. One of the first things that you'll want to do is when you open up PowerPoint is you're going to want to delete this automatic template text here. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it will definitely help you out later, I promise. So you go ahead and highlight this. Once you have it highlighted, just backspace and it is gone. So next, we're going to go up to View, and we're going to go to Slide Master. This is where we're going to do a lot of our template layout. So go ahead and click Slide Master. Again, you're presented with a bunch of slides here. So we're going to highlight everything below this first one here. Then just go all the way down, highlight all those, backspace and delete them. Backspace to delete this template text. And here on the primary master slide, going to do that again. Okay, next thing that you're going to do is to import some sort of background image or texture that will provide the background for your presentation. In order to do that, you can go up to Background Slides, Format Background, Picture or Texture Fill, and you can go to Insert, and then from a file, insert your background texture. Just navigate to wherever you have it saved, pop it in there, and it'll automatically be applied as the background to every slide. Personally, I like to insert mine as a texture on the primary master slide. I don't like to do the format background. So you go to Insert, you're going to go to Pictures from this device, and then import your background texture. Okay, now that we have our background image here imported, what we're going to do is here on the primary master slide, we're going to go ahead and adjust it so that way it goes from edge to edge on the primary master slide. Stretch it out until it fits. And there we go. We have our primary master slide background. And you're going to go ahead for your first template, you're going to go ahead and go to this first slide here. Immediately you're going to duplicate the layout, go back to that first slide, and as you can see, yeah, you can't move around that background. It's kind of stuck here. So, and that is going to appear on every background layout that you make. So going back to the first slide, one of the first things that we're going to want to do is start to work on our header. I like to do a header with some sort of graphic image, a little bit of an animation, then the text. So in order to start on that, we're going to go up here to Insert. I like to go to Icons. There's a lot of good graphic elements there in Icons. And then once that's loaded, you can see that there's all of these different icons. I have ones that are more solid, and then ones that are just the outlines. So I'm going to pick something that is appropriate more to my theme. I have a kind of a film noir theme, so I'm going to type in film. And I've got the film reel, film, popcorn, masks, cameras, the movie screen. I think what I'm going to go with is this movie camera here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that. Gonna move it up here to where I want my header. Just size it up a little bit. Okay, I think that is big enough. Then I want to change the color of it, so I'm gonna go up to Graphics Fill and select this charcoal, almost pure black. Gonna go to Graphics Outline because it's kind of just blending into the background right there for a moment. So yeah, that looks good. We'll select the one just up from that. And there you go. I think I want the outline just a little bit thinner, so you're going to go back up to Graphics Outline, go to Weight. That's a little bit too light. Let's see, half. Nope. I think actually just 1 point outline will be good. There we go. It's got a nice little pop there. Just to make it stand out a little bit more, go to Graphics Effects, Shadows. We're going to go with the default offset bottom right shadow. So there's our camera. I think what I would like to do is have an effect where the camera comes in and there's this beam of light that comes out of the lens, kind of like an old style movie projector. And as it does that, the text for the header is revealed. So next I'm going to work on kind of building that beam of light. So we're going to go to Insert, Shapes, and that looks like a perfect shape for the beam of light, the trapezoid. And there it is. It pops in as default as this kind of just default Microsoft blue. So before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and change the color of that. So we want a beam of light where it's kind of more solid at the base and then it fades out. So we go to Shape Fill. We're going to go to Gradient and select one of these gradients down here just to start with. Linear down, that looks good. So it's going to be a little bit more solid at the top and fade out towards the bottom. So whenever you do that, you're going to have this format shape pop up. You have your preset gradients, and here's the gradient color, so you can change that. We're going to get rid of the middle one here. Just kind of drag that right off. So it's a little bit darker towards the base, so we want the beam of light. So go down to color. We'll do that middle gold right here. Then we're going to go to the toggle on the right. We're going to select a slightly lighter shade of yellow. So that's going to be our beam of light. Doesn't look much like a little bit of a light just yet. So go back over here, shape outline. Let's get rid of the outline. Let's turn that on inside so that we can match it up with the camera. Okay. And go over here. Let's stretch it out a little bit. A little bit further. I think that's perfect. Okay, now you can see that it's actually appearing in front of the camera, which we don't want that. So highlight that, the beam of light, go up to Shape Format. And we're going to select Send Backward. There you go, click it. Now it's behind the camera. Still doesn't look exactly how we want it. So we're going to go back to the gradient stops here. And on the one for the far right, that's going to be at the end of the beam. We're going to up the transparency all the way to 100%. Okay, so that looks better. It looks like it's kind of like that beam of light is coming out of the camera and then fading as it disperses. I think it's a little bit too solid towards the base, so we're going to select the toggle towards the left. Increase the transparency so it looks a little bit more like light. Okay, I think that's perfect. So now we have this whole light effect going on. We want to widen the beam a little bit, so make it a little bit more narrow towards the base at first. Then grab this toggle. We're going to widen it just a little bit. Okay, now that really looks like that kind of projector light there. I like it a lot. Okay, so before we go any further, before we add any text or anything like that, the next thing that we're going to do is add some animations. And it's easier to do it right now before we have the text layered on top of the beam, and it makes the layer with the beam harder to grab. So you're going to want to highlight the camera first, go up to animations. I think actually we're going to have that fly in. It's flying in from the bottom by default. We don't want that. I'm going to fly it in from the left. So you get Effect Options. From the left. Now we have it kind of coming in from the left. One thing that's useful here is to have your animation pane open, so that way you can kind of see the order of your animations. Next we're going to select the beam of light, and we're going to have that do a wipe, so that way it kind of comes out of the camera lens. Now it goes default from bottom to top. We don't want that, so we're going to highlight that again, go to Effect Options, and then go from left. And there, perfect. so we're going to play all to make sure that there we go. Animations are exactly as we want it. So it has the graphic here at the top, and then the one that follows after. Right now these are just set to clicks. Don't want that. I want this to automatically start with the slide. So we're going to do start with previous for the camera. We want the light to come after the camera, so I'm going to go over here to this toggle, start after previous. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and add our text. So we're going to go to Insert, Word Art. By default, I like to start with this text art, word art here up in the upper left. It's just a good default. And here's our text. Go ahead and move it up here to where our light is. Okay, I think that looks about centered. Go to Home, and then we're going to go ahead and change the font. I'm going to change it to Andy's, which is more in line with, you know, my theme. Kind of this old 1920s movie style font. And now I have my font. Now the text still looks pretty boring here, so we want to do something a little bit more to kind of jazz it up, so to speak. One of the first things that we can do is change the color of the font. So go up here, theme colors, more colors, let's see what we got. I like that bright pink there. So now it's bright pink. It's a little bit too much. I don't know if that's exactly what I want. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do to make this a little bit, you know, more professional, more interesting? Another part of my theme is to do kind of like a lot of neon lettering. So I want to see if I can actually make this look a little bit more like that neon lettering. So in order to do that, we'll keep this highlighted. We'll go to Shape Format. And here we have a lot more fill options. So let's kind of start with the outline. Go ahead and make the outline the same color of pink. And neons usually are either thin or they do the outline of the lettering. So in order to make that like that neon, let's go ahead and take the text fill and we'll put no fill. So that way we have that hollow kind of lettering effect here. It's still not quite there, and furthermore, this is kind of really faded, the lettering. It kind of blends in a little bit too much now with the light. So let's see what we can do to make it pop out more. So we'll go to Text Effects, and go to Glow, and we have all these glow variations here. And like this blue one, for example, that really does make it stand out. It looks kind of like a blacklight neon actually now. Kind of cool, but not exactly what I'm wanting. So we'll go back up here to Glow, more glow colors. Try to do the pink again. A little bit too much. So, okay, let's see what else we can do. Go down here to this little arrow and you get Format Shape again. And here it automatically goes to the center, to the text effects. So go to Glow, expand that menu a little bit. So we're going to decrease the size because this is really blurry and icky right now. So we'll decrease the size a little bit. Okay, still looks pretty awful. Let's decrease the transparency. Or increase it rather. Okay, that looks much better. So right there at about, I think 50% transparency. Okay, looking better. I think I want the center of the line though to be just a little bit lighter. So we'll go over here to Text Fill and Outline. Go to Text Outline. Go to Color. More colors. So we're wanting to lighten this up, so we're going to go to Custom. And right here at the bar where it has our primary color, I'm just going to move that toggle a little bit closer towards the white. Kind of this baby pink, millennial pink color, so go okay. There we go. See, now it has that kind of glowing neon center, and then from the outside it's kind of the ambient light look. So now we got that text. So in order to make sure that we have our font size about right, what we're going to do is we're going to put in some placeholder text. So I got placeholder header. And as you can see, this long line of text is already kind of overlapping the camera a little bit. I don't want that, so I'm going to go to Home, and then right here, decrease font size. Increase it down to 44 point until it looks like it fits. I think I want that just a little bit bigger, 48. Then we'll just adjust it out a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. So we have our placeholder text, we have our beam of light, have our camera. Let's add an animation to the text. So go to Animations, click on the animation pane. There we go. We'll just use a simple fade. And let's go to the animation pane and sequence that to start after the previous. So click off of the animation pane and we'll test it, play it all. Okay, that looks really nice. I like that. So now we have our standard header. Kind of halfway done already. That is pretty much one of the hardest parts, is doing some sort of special animation like that, which I like to see for the headers. I think that always makes it a lot interesting. Now that we have our header in place, the next thing that we're going to do is to really begin to fill out the various different slide templates. To start with that, we're going to insert a text box here. A text box is going to contain any of the information that we have posted on the different slides, such as our likes and dislikes, our about me, whatever you like. To start with that, we're going to go to Insert, we're going to go to Shapes, and you're going to select one of the shapes here that's going to serve as your text box. You can use a classic rectangle, you can use a rounded corner rectangle, you know, oval, whatever you like, whatever you think will suit your purposes. For us, we're going to use a rectangle. We're just going to draw that on the screen right here. Move that up a little bit. It'll overlap the light beam a little bit, but that's okay. I think it will make it kind of interesting. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to Shape Fill. I'm going to use gradient again. I'm going to use this corner gradient. In order to adjust that corner gradient, we're going to go over here to Format Shape. Again, get rid of that middle toggle. And we're going to select Color. And using the eyedropper, we're going to grab that purple shade. Going to go to the right toggle. Again, going to use the eyedropper. Going to grab that pink shade. It's a little bright right now, so let's bring down the color of that purple. Go down to More Colors. Bring that down a little bit, make it a little darker. Okay. I think I'm liking that. Let's make it a little darker. Kind of a grape. There we go. Wine grape color. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're going to adjust the outline. Go down to Line, Color. Let's select this dark purple color here. Okay, I like that. That'll be good. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, let's kind of add a drop shadow. So that way it pops out a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of extra little decorations to really add some interest. So go up to Insert, go to Shapes, and I'm going to use this little picture corner shape. Move it into position. Shrink it down a little bit so it doesn't take up too much of the text box. We're going to go to Shape Fill. Get it, it's a charcoal color, like that. Change the shape outline. Make it that light gold. So this corner seems a little plain right now, so let's add a shape effect. Get a shape effect. I'm going to do a bevel. I like that. That looks good. So we're going to use this rounded bevel. It makes it look like a real picture corner. So keep it highlighted. Hold down Control, click C, then Control V. We're going to duplicate that, bring it down to the other corner. Then we're going to rotate it. Flip it vertical, flip it horizontal. And just get that into place. So now grab the center box. Then we're going to grab our picture corner here. Go to Shape Format, Align, Distribute horizontally, Distribute vertically. And that should evenly space everything out. Next, we're going to right click, and then we're going to group it. And now this is grouped as one object for animation purposes. Can adjust it a little bit more. And now we're going to go to Animations. We're going to select Fade. Go to our animation pane over here, and we see that this is triggered by an on-click. We want to keep that so that way we control the timing of when something appears. Especially during your debut, things may not go exactly according to a certain speed. So having this control of having a click of when your text box appears is really useful. So now we have this general layout where we have our header, our text box. So let's create some more templates based off of this layout. So highlight the slide that you've just created, right click, and then duplicate the layout. So another thing that you see during a debuts is the whole likes, dislikes list. So we're going to make a layout for that. We're going to ungroup our text box, slim down the size of this text box, so just like it's a shopping list. Move the corner, get it to fit again. Now we're going to go ahead and group everything back up. Before we group it, distribute horizontally, distribute vertically. Right click, and then group it. Now we're going to Control C, Control V to duplicate that. So now we have two boxes. Grab both of those, and we're going to align middle so that way they're nice and even. And adjust it a little bit. Now we have our likes and dislikes text boxes. Okay, let's create another one. Duplicate layout. We're going to go ahead and delete this one. So cut that. Oh, didn't get all of it. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to ungroup this. Stretch our text box back out. We're going to make it shorter. We're going to make a series of 3 text boxes here. Move our picture corner up. And then, like every other time, grab all 3 of those, shape format, distribute horizontally, distribute vertically, right click, and we're going to group it. So one thing I forgot on the previous slide is I forgot to add back those animations. So let's do that now. Highlight both of them, click on animations, fade. If we want them to appear together, you'll just have to have the first one triggered by the click, and then the second one start with previous. I like this for the likes and dislikes list, where they both appear together, and then I'll have the information kind of appear separately on its own. So let's go back to our other slide. Okay, we have our grouped box. Let's go ahead and add a fade to that before we forget. Now let's duplicate it. Control C, Control V. Control V again. Now we have our 3 boxes, and you can see that since we already added the animation to that first one before we it replicated that animation. So highlight all 3 of them. Go to shape format. We're going to align these, align center, and then distribute vertically. So now we have our series of 3 boxes here. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this one more time. You can of course create as many layouts as you like. You don't have to just do these. We're going to delete the bottom two. Ungroup this. And we're going to adjust this about the size of what we would like a picture to be. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click that and we're going to save as picture into a folder on our desktop. Alright, so we've re-imported the shape that we just exported, re-imported as a picture. And as you see, if you right click it, you go up here and you can change picture. And this is really handy in the fact that you can keep a consistent picture size, picture style. And if you want to just swap it out, all you have to do is go to change picture, this device, navigate to where you have your picture saved, and then it'll pop right in here into this shape. So now that we have our picture template in there, we're going to line that up. Go to picture format. First of all, we're going to send it to the back, send it backwards. Move our corner into position. Don't get too fussy about it just yet. Highlight our picture template again. Go to picture format. And now if you want to add a special border to it, like this simple frame or one of these other ones, then you can do so. I like to do this simple frame. Get the white border in there. I really like that, especially with the picture corners. Readjust the picture corners. And get those into position. Actually, let's make this just a little bit smaller, especially if we want to add additional pictures here. So go ahead and highlight all three, align, distribute horizontally, distribute vertically, and we're going to group it up. And so that is going to be our picture template. Go ahead and Control C, Control V. Oh, did that incorrectly. Control Z to back that up. Highlight this again. Okay, we have the whole group highlighted now. Control C, Control V. And now we have this picture. Do that one more time. And just arrange those however we like. So let's say we want to make this one a little bit smaller, and we're going to ungroup it. Shrink that down a little bit. We have pictures of varying different sizes. Adjust our corners. Ungroup this one a little, and then resize it. Let's see. Right there. Make it just look a little bit bigger than the other ones. Just that a little bit. I think that's a nifty arrangement there. Okay. Root that back up. Root this one back up. Okay, so we have a series of 3 pictures here. So we're going to go ahead and highlight all 3 of these. Go up to animations, and let's see what kind of... Let's try that one. I don't know if I like that. Let's try this. Okay, I think I like float in the best. Let's see what we have as far as direction options. Let me try fly in. Bottom left. Okay, that's actually kind of nice. So we want to slow that down a little bit. So let's actually extend the duration. Okay. Not bad. I want to have each one of those trigger on click. So let's try that again. Oh, missed that one. Okay, so now I have some pictures. If I also want to add some captions to those, go back to shapes, go to rectangle. We're just going to draw a slim little rectangle here for our caption. Shape fill, make that, yeah, we'll make that like that dark charcoal. Shape outline, we're going to do no outline, but we are going to do drop shadow. Actually, let's do an outline because that's a little bit... There we go, I think I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate that. Right. I want that. Let's put it towards the top. Okay, let's go ahead and animate that. We'll go ahead and have those fade in. And I want these to appear right after the picture appears, so we're going to click have all three highlighted. Start after previous. So highlight one of these and we see that this actually is paired with this one. Let's find that one in the list. That is the first one. So move it up. So that way in the list on the animation pane, it falls right after that shape. So that is with the small picture, which is the second one. Okay, adjust it so it starts right after the third one. Okay, let's test it. Okay, not bad. I'm going to adjust some of these caption labels just a little bit. So they seem more consistent. Okay, I think that's good. So, and actually, we're going to create just one more layout. So we'll duplicate our picture layout. Let's get rid of these other two pictures. This is for a single picture layout. So ungroup our picture. Let's resize that so that is nice and large. A little bit too large. Okay, center under the header. Move our corners back into place. Okay, let's group up our picture in corners. Okay, have that grouped up. Go ahead and have it fade. We still have our caption animated, so let's move up the picture. Okay, it's now in front of or above the caption tag, so that the caption tag should appear after the picture. And it does. Awesome. So now we have 5 general template layouts. Now, and we kept this blank one back here. Now we kept this blank one back here, so that way in the general presentation, if we just need a blank layout, we don't have to go back in here and make one of those. So once we're done, you're going to go up to Slide Master and close Master View. And here we have our template. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new slide. There's a list. New slide. Oh, that's the list again. So we're going to right click. Going to go to layout. Select one of the other layouts. New slide, right click. Here's our picture layout. New slide. Then the large picture layout. New slide. And then we'll have our blank layout. So if we go here, click play all, it automatically plays those animations. So next we're going to insert our text boxes where we're going to actually put our text. So go insert text box, click right there. So add your placeholder text. And then of course change it to whatever font that you like. That didn't change. There we go. Now the black text kind of blends in with the dark text box. So we're going to go ahead and change the color of that to white so that way it definitely sticks out a little bit more. We're going to go to animations, fade. And even though you don't see the other animations on your template slide, whatever you animate here is going to appear after. So there you go. Go ahead and Control C. Move to some of the other sides. Resize this. And lay it over. Shape format. Make sure it's aligned to the top. Test it again. Okay, excellent. So one thing that you might have a problem with as far as sequencing is the slide where we have all three of the boxes appear on click one after another. So, for example, so what we'll need to do actually for adjusting the text on this one is copy this, go back to view, go to slide master, and then copy and paste it here. And then probably do the largest portion of our text editing for this particular slide here. You may have to duplicate additional slides if you want to use slides that have groups of 3. But again, I like to use Slide Master for a lot of my layouts just because that way when you go back here and you're editing text, get rid of that. So you're editing text here. If you accidentally grab, a box and you have the box actually on the slide, then it moves all over the place. But if you have it in Slide Master, for the most part, you don't have to worry about that. So other than some animation sequencing issues, it is ultimately better to have things in Slide Master, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of text editing on some of these slides. So that is pretty much the template layout. I hope that you learned something useful. I hope that you're able to use this in your own debuts. If you have any questions, then let me know.